The slow start really hurt us again. We changed the lineup, but we get some energy to start. Credit Florida, hit some shots early, got them off to a good start, and really thought Nemhard had a sensational game. Really had great pace in the ball screen, made really good decisions, used his body really well.
Saben, the points off turnovers have been an issue the last few games. What have you guys kind of done in practice to address that? Have you talked much about it?
Yeah, we definitely talked about that. Things change, just passing to our team and just making good decisions and just trying to make the correct reads.
You had the big dunk, got some life into things for a little bit. Did you think maybe you guys were going to make a run at that point?
I thought we were going to push through for sure. Just couldn't put it together at the end there, but made a good push.
Are you looking for a moment like that to do something emphatic that you think? Are you a guy that wants to spark emotion when you're out there?
Yeah, that's one thing I can do is bring energy, and I try to do that as best I can, and I'm trying to work on being more consistent with that.
Say when they really get after you, they double team, things like that. How much did it make? How tough was it to score on them the way they defended tonight?
It was definitely tough. But then again, if they forced me to pass the ball, just get my teammates involved, I have faith in my teammates, and I'm just going to keep making the correct read.
Any more questions for the guys? Okay, thanks, fellas. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bryce, same thing I asked Saben, the points off turnovers. How do you address that in practice? Talk to the guys about it.
We work on passing. Obviously we watch them. It's a constant thing. Constant reminders. Some of these turnovers, it's really hard to prepare for. I think we had an offensive rebound. We throw it, goes to them, they lay it in. Outlet pass, we guard for 29 seconds, get a stop. Throw an outlet pass, right to them. And so some of these, we just have to make better decisions in the course of the game.
Do you think there's a lack of a go-to guy maybe late in the shot clock? It looks like it's different guys, different times.
I think, take Saben. I thought Saben did a great job late clock. This game, this is one of his better games. 3 for 4 from 3, 5 assists, 1 turnover. I thought he made some really good decisions late clock.
Is Aaron at the point where he's hitting the freshman wall?
Aaron's been sensational, during this stretch. And if you go back and look kind of the games that he hasn't been sensational, we've really struggled in. And this was one, obviously, last time we played Florida, we were up 5, going close to that first half. And he had a monster game, high 20s. And so, with the scoring punch that this particular roster has right now, he has to score the ball for us to be in the game. So, he's logging a lot of minutes, but we need him to. And this is all great experience for him that's going to make him better in the future.
How many times in this run have you thought playing at home would sort of give you the boost you needed, and why do you think it hasn't happened?
Yeah, that's a great question. Our crowd is fabulous. And I thank every single one of them for coming out tonight and staying and cheering for us. And I will tell them that brighter days are ahead, and we're going to get them out of their seat cheering for a good reason, in the near future here. I think our guys fed off it during that run, and then unfortunately Florida hit some shots right away. I think the problem with that run is we were just too far behind. If we'd have been down, 14 or 15, we went on that run. Now it's like a 3 or 4 point game. It's a lot different. We could withstand a couple baskets from them, but we got it to 10 and they score a couple times, and it's right back to 15, 16, and now it's a comfortable margin again.
Bryce, you and the players both have talked about kind of the brighter days ahead and the enthusiasm of getting to the offseason, kind of rebooting things. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that focus, you'll lose some of the focus of winning games during this season? Is the one affect the other?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, obviously we're trying to win games. We're prepping to win games, and we just talked about it tomorrow. Guys will be in shooting free throws during the day, and they'll come back at 3:30 for practice. And we told them there were a lot of things in this game we could have controlled, and we could have done better, and we should have done better. And we have to do better, for us in our next game out. So by no means are obviously we're looking ahead. This is a day-by-day, build. And again, in some areas we progress today, in some areas we regress today. And, that's the thing, we got to become more consistent. So when we progress in an area, we got to stay progressed and not take a step back like we did in some areas today.
How do you keep your guys energized and focused coming into practices and preparing during a streak like this?
For the first thing is we are very young. Like, these guys are going through the SEC, many of them for the first time. like Matt Moyer, he played minutes the last couple of years, but not, he was kind of hidden in the background, never really touched the ball except to catch and go up and dunk. And so guys are taking on some bigger roles than what they've had in the past. And so it's a learning process. And every make shot, everyone they're making, everyone they're missing, this is helping them become better players, which eventually is going to make us a better team.
How about you? I mean, I assume you think about basketball a lot away from the gym too, but are you losing sleep over this? Are you
Losing
dwelling
sleep.
on things?
Let's sleep. I mean, it's obviously it's absolutely miserable to go through. I think you kind of compare Mount Everest, like you're for 2 years since we get here, you're working. You get near the top, and then you got to kind of go back down and reboot a little bit. And that's what we're doing right now. Guys are taking strides. I thought Saben and Matt Moyer both took big steps up tonight. If they can continue making steps like this, it's going to help us this year. But then also they're going to be even that much better players next year.
Have you thought about or tried reaching out to coaching friends, your brother, your dad, anybody? Just, am I missing anything like that?
Yeah, we've been in that circle for actually going back for a long time, even before conference started. Circling with a lot of different coaches, and at the start of the conference, circling with a lot of different coaches, especially with some of the personnel, how to utilize them a little bit more effectively. And at the end of the day, we got to take care of the ball and we got to make shots. I thought we had again some good looks, some looks that we should have shot that we didn't, and they ended up being turnovers instead of open shots. And I think again those are the big areas. You take out the 17-4, this game's totally different.
You had the spell with Cindy at the end of the Alabama game where he handled the ball, things went well for him and for you. Was this kind of a worse matchup to try that tonight?
He's more confident when he has the ball and is able to handle it and do things. So when he does that, he plays with more energy, on both ends. And our team can feed off of his energy and his passing. And so, obviously Ford is a lot smaller. I think he had a bigger guy at Alabama guarding him. But today, again, we wanted to give him some opportunities. And I thought he made, some plays, it was good for him to learn that he can't spin when you got help side coming. But hopefully, again, he'll learn from this game, and because we need him to handle the ball some and make some good decisions for us.
David was joking about sleep, but are you, after these games, are you going back and watching the film? Do you try to get a fresh look at it the next day? How are you handling the review of the games?
It's our normal routine. We'll go back, we'll break down every offensive aspect of this game. We'll break down all of our defensive aspects of the game. We'll get with our players and we'll work on things to correct. When you're going through, a tough stretch like we are, you don't just want to be negative. So, we obviously are going to point out the good things that some of our guys did and how we need to do those more, for our next game out. So, it's the normal prep and learning. Like we just told in the locker room, things get better only by working harder. And that's why we're coming to shoot free throws tomorrow. That's why we're practicing again until we can get things, much better.
What do you think went wrong on the defensive side of the ball, specifically with Andrew Memar?
Yeah, the first time we played him, we did a great job on the 33%. Part of that reason is he got in foul trouble, and he only played, I think, 16 minutes or so. He's actually, I think it's Alabama, he was 9 for 9 from the field. So when he's making shots, when he's making threes, it's kind of been a thing that he's been improving. When he's making threes, he's really tough to guard the ball screens because he does such a good job using his body at 6'5".